Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got our daily NBA predictions here for January 11th. Only 5 games today in the association. Originally supposed to be 7, but with the fires ongoing in Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Lakers home game against the San Antonio Spurs and the Los Angeles Clippers game, they're playing the Hornets. The Clippers game against the Hornets have both been canceled or postponed at least, so only 5 games today in the association instead. But folks, before we get into the predictions, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA predictions here on the channel. Again, we're taking this all the way to the NBA playoffs and beyond. Well, actually, that would be the end. It would be the NBA playoffs. But yes, taking this all the way to the NBA playoffs. And, once we are to the NBA playoffs, or once we get to baseball season, we're going to be doing daily MLB best bets every single day. So be on the lookout for that. That's going to be real exciting. Also, a couple hours ago, we posted our 10 college basketball best bets. Yes, we did 10 of them today instead of 5, with there being a bunch of games here on Saturday. We decided to do 10 college basketball best bets. So go check out that video if you have not yet. Link is in the description down below for that video. Also, our NFL predictions are up on the channel later today. The Chargers and the Texans play in the wild card round, along with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. So go make sure to check out that video. Link is in the description down below. And there's another sporting event today in the world of the Ultimate Fighting Championship over in Las Vegas, Nevada. Mackenzie Dern, Amanda Ribas, the rematch of their fight. You didn't remember, then neither did I. No, actually, I kind of do remember that fight. Just it wasn't that good, so here it is again. Make sure to check out that video in the description down below. That card is tonight, 14 fights in the UFC. First card here of 2025. There's no crowd. Like, what are we doing? Like, just why? All right. The first of our 5 NBA predictions. We start off with the early game, 12 o'clock noon Pacific, obviously, 3 p.m. on the East Coast. It is the Atlanta Hawks hosting the Houston Rockets. This Rockets crap needs to stop. Give me the Atlanta Hawks, okay? Yep. Atlanta's back at home, right? They're back at home after that very long West Coast road trip that started, well, hell, it wasn't even a West Coast road trip. They started in Toronto on the 29th, and they go to Denver, Los Angeles, Utah, Phoenix. They've been on the road since December 29th, and it's been a very long road trip. Now, obviously, not a great road trip for Atlanta. Let's just be honest with ourselves, right? The only win being the Jazz win, which obviously we got a highlight that's going to be played, until the end of Trae Young's career, obviously, the half-court game winner, which is great. But other than that, a very forgettable West Coast trip and just road trip for the Atlanta Hawks, only winning 2 of those games on the road against the Raptors and Utah, and then their losses, Denver, again, Clippers, Lakers, and Phoenix. Now, Trae Young is trying everything he can to keep this team competitive with the absence of Jalen Johnson. Now, Jalen Johnson is still out. Oh, it sucks. But Trae Young was on the injury report with an Achilles injury. He has now been marked, though, as probable for this basketball game, so one can only assume he's going to play against the Rockets. The Hawks are 19-19. They have cooled down since, again, their boost they got from the in-season tournament, but Atlanta right now is 9th in the East. Oh, wow, because Detroit lost. Oh, they're just, wow. Oh, Atlanta's 9th. Oh, man. They're only 1 game up the Bulls? Because the Bulls beat the Wizards. Philly lost the other night, which typical for the 76ers. Oh, man. Well, Miami's going to keep falling, I feel like. Well, I know they just won, but I don't know. We'll see. Shout out to the Pacers, though. The Pacers kind of, just getting away from the play-in. They're 21-18 now. I'm so happy. Tyrese Halliburton's so back. We're back with Indiana. Let's go. Give me the Hawks to beat the Rockets. Yeah, I know. Okay, Houston, guys, hear me out. They've been on the road for a while now. It's the last game of the road trip. They've been on the road for about a week now. They have to start losing, okay? The Rockets, they're not that good now to the point where they can literally win at the end of a road trip, sweep a road trip, and then come back home on Monday. No, they got to lose one eventually. And I feel like it's got to happen right now. All right, give me Atlanta. I don't think the Rockets are able to play this type of ball with the Hawks. Whoever's able to impose their will on the other team in terms of how, because obviously the Rockets and Hawks, very different styles of basketball. Rockets, a little bit more defensive orientated, right? Or more defensive orientated, runs through what Sengun can do. Obviously, the volume shooting of Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, and Fred VanVleet, but, Atlanta's just going to try to put it on you regardless. They are going to try to outscore you. They want to play quick. If you score, we are inbounding the ball as soon as possible. We are running the court. So very 2 different styles of ball. Whoever's able to implement their game the best is going to win. I do think Atlanta is able to do this. Guys, early morning game, end of the road trip for Houston. They want to get up on out of there after this game. early spot, 3 p.m., but still, Atlanta should be able to run early and run often. I'm going to take the Hawks at home here, even without Jalen Johnson still out of the lineup. I get that. I'm still going to believe in Trae Young and what the Hawks are able to do. Give me the Hawks to win this basketball game, and they should be able, I think they're underdogs, yeah. They're plus 155. You want to take the plus 4.5, take it. I don't mind the Hawks at all in this spot. Again, early morning game. It's not, I need to stop saying it's early morning. It's a 3 p.m. game. But still, I do think Atlanta's going to be able to get it. Give me the Hawks at home. And yes, I do hate on the Houston Rockets any chance I get. But, it is what it is. This game is actually at the same time, but it's at 2 p.m. Pacific. Well, okay. It's, the Hawks, Rockets is at 3 p.m. Eastern. This is at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. The Utah Jazz taking on the Phoenix Suns. I'm going to take Utah to cover the 10.5 points because, honestly, Utah's been playing better ball. They actually have. But I'm not going to take them to beat the Suns, even though the Suns just are disappointing and you should pick against them, honestly. But yeah, no, give me Phoenix. Quick side note, guys, does anyone know the All-Star Game is going to work this year? Like, legitimately. How does the All-Star Game work? Why are there 3 teams? Like, I don't know. I legitimately don't know what's going on with the NBA All-Star Game. Because I just saw an article pop up when I was looking at the Phoenix Suns ESPN page. It's got a picture of Kevin Durant and the All-Star Game projections. And by the way, All-Star Game, let's look at these. No, honestly, no. Let's look at this real quick. Let's just, quick segue, guys. We'll get back to this in a second. Okay. Let's see who ESPN thinks are going to be the 24 players in the All-Star Game. East starters, Donovan Mitchell, LaMelo Ball, no problem with that. Giannis, Tatum, Cat, honestly, no problem. Reserves, actually, no, Trae Young should be starting over LaMelo. I'm sorry. You just should be. Jalen Brunson, Trae Young, Jaylen Brown, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, I agree. Dame, Cade, Tyrese Halliburton, man. He's not playing that bad, but who do you replace on this list? Who does Tyrese replace? It's gonna have to be Cade. But no, Cade's an all-star, man. RJ Barrett is another guy who probably should be looked at, but no, honestly. Low-key Dame, man. Oh, no, Dame's averaging 25. No, I can't make the case for Tyrese. Definitely not Brunson. Damn. There's like 12 guys? Really? What are they playing, are they playing 3-on-3? I don't know what's going on. West, Shea. Yeah, obviously. Steph starting? Jokic, KD, LeBron, Ant, Kyrie, Wemby, yeah. AD, yeah. Well, Kyrie might still be out. Yeah, he might still be out. AD, Jaren Jackson definitely deserves it. Şengün, yes. Yes, Jalen Williams, yes. 100%. 100% Jalen Williams, yes. I feel like the East is low-key more stacked. Not gonna lie. I feel like the East is more stacked. Anyways, that was interesting to me. This game, I am going to take the Phoenix Suns to win, but I'll take the Jazz to cover. Utah, again, surprisingly, has just been playing better ball. They've covered this line in the last 4 games. Sure, they won 2 of those games, but they covered this line against the Hawks, only losing that game by 3 points. Again, the Trae Young buzzer beater. Lost the other night by 5 points at home. Yeah, they go on the road for this game, but guys, Phoenix can't really blow anybody out. They're just kind of mid. Kevin Durant's averaging 27 points a night. D-Book's averaging 24.5. There's everybody else. Now, Beal's kind of playing better off the bench now, which is great. But still, they're starting Ryan Dunn now, aren't they? Yeah. Wow. I'm not a fan of the Suns at all this year. I just don't think they're living up to the expectation. I think they need to, give KD some damn help. But they don't really have that right now. So give me the Suns. I'm going to take the Jazz to cover, though. Personally, I'd stay away. The Suns are just weird, and the Jazz, I don't know. It's too good to be true right now for Utah. Hell, everything's just going kind of Utah's way. They're winning some games. They're covering some games. Bryce Sensabaugh looks great. And Walker Kessler won the game of life. So, I think everything's going too well for the Jazz. So it's like that part of the movie, right, where it's all going well. It's like, oh, everything's great. And then something's got to happen, Just, right? I don't know. Yeah, Utah plus 10.5, though. I don't know what I was going for there. Have you ever had that feeling where, your just nose is so clogged where literally you can't breathe out your nose? That just means a stuffy nose. I don't know why I was trying to elaborate on that. This is some crazy thing. I don't know, man. I have not I can just feel my nose just getting more and more stuffed as I'm talking. It's just pissing me off. Anyways, We go on to our next game. We go to Detroit, Michigan for the Detroit Pistons and the Toronto Raptors. Why is the spread 4.5? They know something we don't. I'm serious. Why is it 4.5, guys? Who knows something in Vegas that we don't know about this basketball game? Is something happening? I'm serious. Why is this 4.5? Why? Toronto has won one basketball game since December 5th, December 3rd. They won one game. It was the win over the Nets on New Year's Day. They've won one game. Why is this line where it's at? What am I missing? What's happening that I don't know about? Okay? They lost by 6 in Cleveland. Okay, still want to cover this. They lost by 14 to the Knicks, 24 to the Bucks, and 9 points to the Magic. And then before that, they lost by, 60-something points to the Celtics. And then 29 to the Hawks. What am I missing? What's going on here? Memphis, 2 weeks ago, put up 155 points to them. Okay? Detroit's fairly healthy. Cade's playing. Tim Hardaway is questionable. Jaden Ivey's still out, obviously, which sucks, but they're not really missing too many pieces. What's going on? What's going on? When something doesn't make sense, Vegas knows something we don't. I'm serious. Vegas has got to know something here. I'll still take Detroit, though. The Pistons, I know they're coming off that loss to the Warriors, which it's just whatever. You know, the Warriors showed how, you know, a real team like the Pacers, I'm joking, I like the Pistons this year, but, you know, the Pacers cleaned up on the Warriors last night, obviously. Game was a little closer than it should have been, but they still won the game by 11 and covered the spread for us. But Detroit loses that game to the Warriors by 3. Really brutal because they hadn't lost so far in 2025, obviously. Wins over the Magic, Hornets, Timberwolves, Blazers, and Nets. Cade Cunningham playing great ball this season. That's why, again, I don't mind him being an all-star. For as big of a Tyrese guy as I am, I really can't say Tyrese deserves to be an all-star right now over Cade Cunningham. I just can't. Like, I hate to say this, but I hope someone has a minor injury. Really. I hope someone has a minor, no, not even that. I hope someone just opts out of the all-star game so Tyrese can get in. Because I think Tyrese legitimately is that next guy. I think he's that next guy to get in the all-star game. But I am taking the Pistons in the spot here. I don't understand why the line's 4.5. Again, I could be missing something here. But why is Detroit only getting these amount of points? Everyone's healthy for the Raptors. That's great. The Raptors are 8-30. Why do they get this respect on the road? This is not the same Pistons team as last year, guys. The Raptors have won 8 games this season. Make it make sense. I really feel like this is a great spot for Detroit minus 4.5. I'm not saying they completely blow them out, but we just need 5 points. Come on now. Give me the Detroit Pistons at home at the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Next up, we go to Minnesota for the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Memphis Grizzlies. My camera might be spazzing out right now. I don't know, guys. It does this sometimes, and I usually just fix it, but I legitimately don't know why it's doing this. There we go. Background's just going crazy. Anyways, we're just going to give this, you know, it's halfway through the video. I'm not going to try to fix it, I'll be honest with you. We got the Memphis Grizzlies, and we have the Minnesota Timberwolves. I have the Timberwolves at home in this spot. Minus 120 for the Timberwolves, plus 100 for Memphis. Don't mind it at all for the Grizzlies here. Anthony Edwards, again, has been playing great basketball. The Orlando win on the road, good win. They win the game by 15 points. Honestly, it was not all that competitive a basketball game. And then we look at what the Memphis Grizzlies have been doing. Again, a 24-14 team, but still a very severely injured squad. Actually, no, they get a lot of guys back now. Marcus Smart and Cam Spencer are only guys out. Okay, so honestly, Grizzlies are back. But still, they're going on the road. They're going on the road to take on the Timberwolves. I like Minnesota in this one. You saw Memphis play the Rockets and lose at home when they were back to full strength. Ja was back. Jaren Jackson was back. I was expecting a couple guys questionable, I'll be honest, for this game, but no, there's literally no injury tags on anybody other than Marcus Smart. So that's why I thought they were still banged up, but no, literally no one's even a game time decision for this one, which is great. But at the same time, they lost that game to the Rockets at full strength, and now Memphis has lost 3 of 4. And I get it. Again, they were still dealing with injuries prior to that big game that they had against Houston, but the loss to Sacramento, loss to Golden State, they beat Dallas, and obviously losing to the Houston Rockets. Now they get Minnesota, a Timberwolves team that is playing really good basketball right now. They were ice cold to start the year, losing to OKC, losing to Boston, losing to Detroit, but then 3 straight victories over the Clippers, Pelicans, and Orlando. And again, now they're at 20-17. They're on a 3-game winning streak. I think Minnesota gets this one here. I like Anthony Edwards, and I like Julius Randle to get it done. I know Randle, again, has not been the model of consistency this season, but Anthony Edwards has been that guy, obviously. And Dante DiVincenzo, who is getting extended minutes, who is starting now for Minnesota. I think, again, it only helps out this Minnesota Timberwolves team more when Dante DiVincenzo is starting. So give me Minnesota at home in this spot over the Memphis Grizzlies. They should be able to win the basketball game, and they're getting 1.5 as well, so obviously they'll cover that point line as well. Let's go on to our final game of the night. We go to the Moda Center and to the Rose Garden in Portland, Oregon. We've got the Miami Heat on the road at the Portland Trail Blazers. I've picked against the Heat quite a bit. I'm going to take them here, though. I'm going to take the Heat against the Blazers. Portland kind of playing better, but at the same time, I thought they were going to get I thought they were going to get Dallas the other night. It's still a very injured Mavericks team. They didn't. Miami, I think, has figured it out. They were going through a little bit of a rough patch post Jimmy Butler suspension, obviously, losing 3 in a row to the Pacers. That was still with Jimmy Butler, but the Jazz game at home, they lost by 36 points. They lose to the Kings on the road in double overtime. They blew a horrible lead, just like the Sixers did in Sacramento, but it is what it is. Bouncing back, though, beating the Warriors, and they went to Utah and beat the Utah Jazz. I think they should be able to go to Portland to beat the Trailblazers. Yes, a very hot and cold Trailblazers team. Sometimes this team is absolutely on, and some nights they are awful. It just depends what Blazers team you get. Jeremy Grant is still out with that face injury. Matisse Thybulle still out, and now DeAndre Ayton questionable for this game with the calf injury. But Donovan Clingan is fully back into the swing of things now. Yes, and Robert Williams as well is back. So if Ayton doesn't play again, you get Clingan and Williams. It is what it is again for Portland in this spot. You got the shooters, Anthony Simons, Shaedon Sharpe. Off the bench, obviously, you get Scoot Henderson. I don't know. I don't trust Portland. I just don't. We put some faith in them a couple games ago, back-to-back. We took them against New Orleans and Dallas on back-to-back nights. And I get it, again, losing to Dallas on the second half of back-to-back. It is what it is. I just kind of was hoping Portland could get one for us. They didn't. It's fine. I'm taking Miami, though, on the road here. Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. It's that simple. Those are the two best players on the court tonight. Again, Miami needs to start learning how to play without Jimmy Butler because there is going to be no Jimmy Butler for the rest of the course of the season, obviously. It's only a matter of time before he gets moved. Obviously, it's going to happen after the suspension. So I think, again, as Miami starts to adapt to life without Jimmy Butler, because, again, everything in South Beach for the last, 8 years, 7 years, 6 years for Miami Heat basketball has been centered around Jimmy Butler. Actually, it's only been like 5, but still, 6. Obviously, again, we got to look to the future now for the Heat, and that revolves around Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero. So if these guys can keep on winning basketball games, obviously these are going to be the guys that are going to try to lead this team to the postseason this year. I think they will. We'll see. Postseason, we'll see. But give me Miami here on the road to go to Portland and cover the 3.5 points as well. So folks, that'll do it for our NBA predictions here on January 11th. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank you all for watching, and Mamba